Good morning. Okay, so let's talk about disability a little bit today. Um, all right, I have my own disabilities, several. My oldest son has his disabilities, several diagnoses. And my youngest now also has three separate, interlinked, obviously, diagnoses. And I've been reaching out to the social services and medical services of my region for at least since the COVID pandemic, so about 4 years now, asking for help for my eldest because I can no longer care for him appropriately. I can't give him what he needs. I can't drive him around, so we have transportation services. I can't keep him occupied all day long, so we have a day program for him. He's very anxious and it drives us all crazy, so we have the very occasional respite weekend through subsidized through a local plein air, what is it called, an outdoor campground. Well, he'll go overnight. I can't cook for him what he likes because it's very restricted and not particularly healthy, and the rest of the family doesn't want to eat that all the time. So he goes out to restaurants, and that's another thing that's through his day program, but they go out for restaurants monthly. And then they sample like the local restaurant cuisine, which is wonderful. It's really, really great. So things are going okay. But now that my youngest has diagnoses as well, he's going to need some more help to master some of his skills that he's weak in. Now, my youngest has a very different profile from my oldest. He does not have an intellectual disability, nor does he have a learning disability. He really, in fact, has what's called that twice exceptional thing, where he has very strong gifts and he has a specific weakness in some areas. So he's both brilliant and behind at the same time. And so he's going to require more input than we've already been doing, more support than we've already been doing. And I don't know how to spread myself any thinner. I can't do it. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I have that overwhelmed feeling, but it's fine. It's okay, because there's a new social working person on my eldest's file, and one of the things we asked for was that he be placed in a home so that he could kind of move on with his life and have that experience of not always living at home, right? And that when things are going, and that I could fully focus on the children, right? Because it's their turn. And apparently the new social worker, I spoke with her this morning, and she was like, I'm looking in your file and I'm seeing like diagnoses, but I'm not seeing what it means for you in your daily life. And I was like, I gave her a few examples, like I can't stand up for more than 5 or 10 minutes at a time without really needing to sit down again, like pain. And I can't reach for things. I can't lift anything. I can't clean his room even though he hoards trash, like that kind of thing. And so, and because of all of that, I can't really work a physical job. And that's a real thing, because that means that the only other person who can work in our household is working her butt off all the time, and also does not have time for housework and keeping the place clean. I have to do it, but I have to do it in slow little increments, and I can't cope with the entire house, and I cannot care for my adult child who really needs that level of support. I can't do it. And she understands. And I got that feeling of like relief and fear at the same time of like, now I have a social worker who understands automatically what these keywords mean. And we're going to have a meeting where we're going to talk about it in detail. And does that mean that he's going to get moved up in priority of the waiting list, which I know like there's a long waiting list still, but all this time that went by when I was telling all these things to all these social workers and the things never made it into the file properly, that's upsetting, you know? So these are the kinds of things that I'm dealing with. And I also feel like that I also am autistic and not able to communicate clearly and appropriately across the great divide of neurodivergence. You know, like it feels like there is an ocean of meaning and that my raft of words is inadequate to describe what I need. I don't even know what I need half the time, but I know that I need help with this guy, and I know what the solution is, and I know that he meets all the criteria, and I'm just not understanding why it's not making it into the file properly. I don't understand. And it's like my medical journey, you know, I was telling my doctor I can't poo, and I don't think that I can be any clearer than that, but it still took 2 years to remove the blockage. Whose fault is it? You know? Other people say, I can't poo, and they go like the next week and get their hemorrhoids removed. I think. I mean, I'm imagining. So why is it, what's different about me? Do I deliver it wrong? Do I just have a smile all the time and that masks it makes it seem like I'm joking? I'm not joking. I never joke. I don't joke. I don't know how. I don't get jokes. I say the truth. All right. So that's my little rant for this morning, talking about disability, being disabled, trying to parent disabled, and, you know, it's hard. That's it. Thank you for listening. Bye now.